Alright, I'm gonna tell you a tale of fiction, okay? Okay? And I want you, if you understand what I've been talking about, to interpret what's going on. That's the earth. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Pretty simple. God created the 2 by 2 by 2, 3 by 3 by 3, 4 by 4 by 4, within a 6 by 6 by 6, and an 8 by 8 by 8. And the earth was without form and void, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep. Okay? Haven't added the water yet. Okay, the earth is the sediment in the water. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So I have like a little container of water that I'm holding. Has a little bit of sediment of it in it. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Okay, at this point, there's a little plug here. And I opened it. And light shone in to the 3D printed in black 2 by 2 by 2 sphere, where there are 160 magnets affixed to 3 and 2 sets of rings, 32 times 5, and there are 14 magnets at 23.4 degree angle tilts at the end of axles. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. Okay, that has to do everything with finding the numbers. I don't think that has anything to do now. There's light shining into a sphere from the top and none shining from the bottom, so it was divided. Let's go with that. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. Okay, on the first day, open the plug, let light in to the model, the cellular free energy device. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." Oh, perfect. Okay, so after heaven was created, the 2 by 2 by 2, a second sphere was created in the dead space between heaven and the 6 by 6 by 6 needed for the wheels. So at least at 5.5 away from, let's say, 2.5. So in that 3, there was room to create a secondary heaven. Like a collector with 5 points, like a 5-pointed star, where there'd be like little straw tubes going from each one of the recessed bottoms all the way to the top to create an infinite closed loop system. Divided the waters from the waters, because the water that leaks out before it's turned on has to be collected at the bottoms, but then it can't overflow and then reach the tops where the other axle is coming through, because when the axle's spinning that fast, even if water leaks through, it's going to spin through that axle in that airspace, and it's going to shoot off the axle and hit the walls and then fall down into these parts and collect. So you have room to build that and 3D print that. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. Okay, so we're going to call the 3D printed spheres of the terrarium firmament. How about that? And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Okay, sure. Now, and God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. Okay, what does that mean? So if you start spinning all the wheels by hand, let's say you go around and you spin all 14 wheels, 6 on the faces, 8 on the vertices, and there's a little bit of resistance, and the resistance in the form of a breaker when you're creating energy needs to be there. There needs to be some kind of resistance. I never had resistance, I never had breaker in my model until I thought about adding a fishbowl with water. And that fishbowl is only going to be affecting a straight shaft of axle and a magnet at the end on a tilt. So the tilt of the magnet will create an eddy current. The axle spinning will create an eddy current. Okay? Now, if all the water that collects itself in the firmament, okay, between the waters and the second petri dish thing, it's gonna all drain to the bottom, and I'm sure there's a way of designing that where it all drained finally to one place at the bottom of each of the 5 things. Okay? Let dry land appear. If this is Armageddon, and these are the floating bits that sit on top of the 6/7 filled sphere of water, when you turn the wheels and spin the wheels, those floating bits are going to get sucked down. There's your flat Earth. Your flat Earth in your dome is gone. Your illusion, your thoughts, your beliefs on whatever research you've done, destroyed. And it gets sucked down, the eddy current. And all the little bubbles that get created by the 14 axle spinning will create one big bubble in the center at the 76. And the gases are going to collect. And it's going to create a sphere. And in that sphere, on the walls of the sphere, are where all the particulate's going to collect. All the floaty bits are going to collect on the inside walls of the sphere. Maybe to a point where there'd be dry land. If you were an observer on that crud, you'd have gas above you and waters below you. Hey, that'd be a lot like cellular Earth. At the epicenter of the gas would be the black hole, where the higher element or the lower element gas, trace gases would collect. And obviously, because you are collecting air from your surroundings, which is 80% breathable air or whatever, nitrogen and oxygen, same combination of everything is going to be in there because it's getting its air from your air. Okay? You're creating an Earth. And God called the dry land Earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas, and God saw that it was good. Everything I just explained. You created cellular Earth. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass. Okay, now it's talking about life, but there's so much energy happening. It's talking about creating life. In the form of plant life, in the form of aqua life, foul life, cattle, creepy things or insects, and beasts, and man. Man, 7. So, 1 of 7. You need 2 1 of 7s. You need to join the male and the female. I guess if we're creating understanding of God, we're creating a 13 and a 13 to create a 26, and then 26 is an 8. Okay? And if we're trying to understand the 7 and 2 1 of 7s, we're trying to understand 14, we're trying to understand 28. Okay, which just keeps up. Like 6/7 is 0.85, 7, 14, 28, 6. It's outrageous, the synchronicities here, okay? With the numbers. Okay, numbers don't lie. "26", if you circle the 2, circle the 6, and circle the whole thing, it's like adding a +2 and a +1. It's like 29. Now 7, 14, 28, if you just circle the 28, it's a 29. We're going from an M resolution to a G resolution. Going from a 13 to a 7. 1 of 7 of 13 of 110. 110 is just a wall outlet for electricity. Okay? Like, I don't even need to read the rest. Literally, guy. In the 9 quadrant of the page, that's all it took. Right here. Yeah, right here. That's it. 1/4 of the first page of the Bible describes cellular energy to a T. And the story of creation of this, of the thing that produces energy for you. Okay, look. It's an infinite feedback loop, okay? We are... Creation happens. We hit Armageddon, we go over, we go down, Fibonacci, to here. Either we go from the 8 and we get stuck in this infinite loop thing with a happening, or we understand energy and we go down to the Earth, which allows us to get to here, which is our capstone at 23.4 degrees, up Euphrates River of Revelation 16. Okay, to create your 69, 69, 69. Now, the key part is here. is knowing that we have to go up, down, like up, across, and down. Okay, now check this out. It's interesting. What if we don't hit 4? Okay, what if we go up and hit the V? Because we're walking on the stairway to heaven. We go from the V to the 1 and then down. So maybe the 4 is not part of it. 4 is only part of it once you understand the M, 13th letter. Circle that's 14. Anyway, so if we're going across and up to the V, a V and a 1 and a 1 is a 7. A 2, a 1, and the 1 is a 4. 7, 4, God. 174 magnets needed in heaven. 160 plus 14. So, yeah. Okay, the firmament, I get it. Separating the waters from the waters is basically having your bowl filled 6/7 with water, making a flat, round disc at the top of a spherical container that looks like an eyeball with a lens of air. You have 5 axles coming through the air into the water, and you have 9 axles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 axles coming through the water, which will leak, which is why you need a secondary container with 5 pillars at the bottom so that water can collect. Where the axles meet, they're at high peaks, and where the water collects, they're at low valleys. And at the low valleys, you need like tubes printed to go to the top to make a closed system. Take a cross section of that. It's any flat earth picture you've ever seen in any book. The floating stuff is the debris in the water. When you turn on the machines, your debris and your flat earth gets sucked down the eddy current. Whirlpool. There goes your illusion. Sorry. It goes down all the eddy currents to create a cellular bubble, a pressurized vacuum system, where the floaty bits will now be sitting on the outside walls of the beach ball, on the interior, where you live. Because light can bend in air. We're in someone's battery right now. We live in a battery. Now, our study of everything we've ever done is valid from a certain point of view, but when it comes to energy and creation of energy, it does not work. Einstein had theories where the two were valid on their own, but they did not match up together. Okay, well, I'm going to put another peak and valley in that equation, okay? So, yeah, thermodynamics. Okay, I didn't learn thermodynamics, and I didn't learn fluid mechanics or liquid dynamics. It's not shit I learned. But I do understand eddy currents in electronics, like magnetism and copper, and I do understand eddy currents in water. And to have it on the same axle, on the big wheel, on one end doing the magnetism side, and the one on the inside doing the, marine side. It's interesting that the first form of life after plants was aqualife. Aqualife, guy, because there's water between the firmaments. And then you filled up life in the air. You did a 1 and a 1. And the rest of the stuff lived on the dirt. A 1 and a 1 and a 3. A 2 and a 3, a 32, 23. Okay? A 2 by 2 by 2. You have enough space for up to, like, say, a 5 by 5 by 5. Maybe like a 3, 4, 5 worth of space, because 3 makes 4 makes 5, makes 6. And if you have a 6 in a circle, there should be enough space for a white 9. Your yin and yang and your balance. Everything is number, Pythagoras. Okay? Literally, guy. If you just erase this corner and that corner and that corner and that corner, that is your new heaven. That's your black hole. Those are your axles. Those are your magnets on your axles. There's your water floats up to here. That's the sediment that gets sucked into the cell, which is now this new 3 by 3 by 3 matrix.